Listeners, each week, myself and my friend Nick Sperdute and I go to some place to perform stand-up comedy or improv or some other amusing thing. And this week, we went to Oz, which... Did you think we were going to Australia? Because I thought we were going to Australia, Nick.
I actually wasn't quite sure. About halfway through, I thought, well, this is kind of different.
Yeah, well, because at first I was like, flying monkeys. Got it. Yeah, Australia. Yep. That seems right. Yeah, right. They've got all sorts of weird animals.
Thought as well. Yeah.
Like all their animals have pouches. So I was like, it doesn't surprise me to have a winged monkey.
I think all of their animals. I think like 2 of their animals have pouches.
I know they're, well, hold on. They got kangaroos.
Marsupials.
They've got kangaroos. They've got marsupials.
Wasn't that the same thing? Isn't a kangaroo a type of marsupial?
No, I think they're very different. A marsupial, I believe, is a horse with a pouch. So it's like a regular horse, except no, because all the mammals have pouches, and horses do too, and presumably cows. But apparently no flying monkeys. That's not, and that's like unique to Oz.
Okay. I'm going to just let the pouch thing go.
All right.
So we can move past it. Someday
we'll do comedy in Australia and I will be proven right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, we went to Oz. Well, overall, pretty good time. We actually did several gigs while we were there, because when you're traveling, I mean, if you're able to do multiple comedy spots, I mean, you've already spent the money on the transportation, so it behooves you to do that. So we did it in the Munchkin Village, and we did it at
they prefer
the Emerald
Munchkin
City.
Land.
Is it Munchkin Land now? Okay.
Yeah, it's its own kind of thing. Oh, but yes, we did the Emerald City. To be fair, it's a lot bigger than I thought it would be.
Yeah, it was much bigger.
It's 4 large sections.
Uh-huh.
And they're named for their cardinal directions. Emerald City, I believe, is in the middle. But yeah, we started off in Emerald City, and I gotta say, a lot of green, really green.
I liked that. I thought Emerald City was really pretty. The thing I didn't like was I felt like they were needlessly provocative with their politics. I didn't care for that at all. We're foreigners. We're not a part of this. But we get off the hot air balloon. And like, I'd say within, 10 minutes, somebody's like, so you for the North Witch or the West Witch?
Yeah, no, they were doing a census, but a political census, and they accosted us when I wasn't ready for it.
Accosted,
Yeah, and they were like, hey, you guys are new here. Which witch are you into? And I said, which witch? And then, me, I got tangled into a whole which. Then
you tried to defuse it with a sandwich joke, which was...
and I thought that hit. I felt really good about it.
Well, the guy laughed, but then he got real serious and was like, seriously, though, which witch?
Yeah, I'm glad I got him for a second. But then I said east, and then you said, can I write someone in?
Right. Exactly. I don't see why I should have to pick between these 2 witches, particularly when we're using an ordinal system. That didn't even make because he's like, everybody knows there's just a West Witch and a North Witch, and I was like, but isn't it implicit? Like, doesn't that assume that there's a South Witch and an East Witch?
There are. I believe there's 4 witches.
Okay. Yeah.
I think that's part of the problem. You weren't really paying attention.
Right, but when I said I was going to go with the South Witch, actually I said I was going to go southeast. I was like, I'm going to go with the Southeast Witch. Everyone just laughed at me, and they're like, go ahead and throw away your witch vote. And I was like,
and then you wrote in Gary Johnson.
I wrote in Gary Johnson.
They said, sir, that's not a witch. And you said, well, I stand by my choices.
I did. I did, and I do. I wrote in Gary Johnson as my favorite witch.
Yeah.
And exactly. I was like, I'm owning this. I am in favor of legalizing marijuana throughout Oz and releasing any munchkins who have been incarcerated for nonviolent crimes pertaining to that marijuana. And also, I don't know what countries Oz is fighting right now, but I want them out.
Yeah. And I gotta they were impressed by your knowledge of Oz politics, despite the fact that you just stepped foot in there. And I think really you were just going... just kind of going
I went
crazy.
Into autopilot, to be honest with you.
It felt like that, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I
knew that. They didn't know that.
No, they were like, this guy knows a lot about non-interventionism. And I was like, yeah, but no, honestly, I could have pulled that anywhere.
Well, then, it did get a little bit odd between the two shows.
Oh, because of the deaths?
I don't want to say we, because it just kind of felt like it happened.
Right.
So we rented an SUV when we got there, and apparently
it was a Dodge Caravan, but still.
Oh well, yeah, sure. But what the point was, we hit a witch right away,
really quick. Like as we were leaving the airport, we hit a witch
and flattened.
Yeah, like it was very disturbing. Like we parked the van and like her legs were
Feet
poking
were just
out,
sticking out. Yeah,
and everybody was like.
Yeah.
Some people were openly celebrating, which I thought was in horrible taste. I thought that was very, very poor taste.
And I was just running in circles, and I kept going, is this the one I voted for? Was this the one I voted for? And here's the thing, like, we were trying to keep it quiet, but then all these people came around, and they were going, ding, dong, the witch. They had a whole song for this thing.
Yeah.
And I was going, what is happening right now? We just accidentally murdered someone, and I felt terrible.
Oh, I know. I like at the I was like, I feel awful that we killed somebody. I'm fairly confident this is going to affect my driver's license. If not,
I thought we were going to go to prison.
Oh,
Oz prison.
Because it's like, you think about it, like, it was my fault for going the wrong way in a roundabout. I mean, I should have known better. A lot of people don't know this, but they drive on the left side of the road in Oz, and I'm fine up until we hit that roundabout, and then my instincts kicked in, and I started going right and just collided with this lady, and oh man, yeah, and
I was terrified, genuinely terrified that we were going to end up in Oz.
Yeah, but no, but they were.
Prison.
The prison. Yeah, a whole nother the third Oz. Yeah, but no, we did that, and then we killed that other witch. Which wasn't our fault. That time wasn't our fault.
I mean, that was because I accidentally, we were next to the witch, and I turned on the windshield wiper fluid.
Yeah.
And apparently she got wet, and she just I guess melted.
She screamed that a lot.
Terms.
Yeah. She was very, very clear about that she was melting. And
I felt bad. Tarful was very upset.
Yeah. Our Wookiee companion was very disturbed by that.
Oh, yeah, we should mention, we were with all 6 of our Wookiees, and Joe Blob came with.
Our Gungan. And our protocol, or your protocol droid.
Yeah.
AJ-19.
AJ-19, yeah. So we were with the whole group, and they all squeezed in.
Mm-hmm. We were driving that Dodge Caravan on that
Caravan, yep.
that like yellow road. Which connects the Munchkin Land to Oz. It's like a freeway.
They could pave it, It's like God.
Yeah, you would think.
What year is it?
Yeah. So we killed. Well, we got on that elevator, and the elevator just kind of dropped and flattened somebody, which turned out to be a witch.
Yeah, that was another witch.
It turned out to be the South Witch. It was very, but again, not a big. I'd say generally considered positive developments from the people in Oz.
Well, they just kept singing that same song, and I was like, does everybody know this song? It just felt like a national thing, and and then we were known by that from then on as the Witch Killers.
Well, you were known as the Witch Killer. I was known as the comedian that wrote in Gary Johnson as my favorite witch.
Yeah. They were saying, here comes the Witch Killer, and the guy who wrote in Gary Johnson.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, but you know what? All the same, though, that third night, packed house. Absolutely packed house.
Oh, we killed. On accident, but also
in both senses. We did very well. I got to say, it was people in Oz are looking for a good time. It's seems to be an educated crowd. Likes to go out. Doesn't mind paying a little bit for drinks. It was good.
We did so well that we got invited to meet the wizard.
Yeah, he's like their mayor or their comptroller or something. In any event, he's some kind of high-ranking guy. I really liked that guy. He's an old friendly.
You did.
Oh yeah, he was just. I mean, he's an old friendly dude in a top hat and a waistcoat. I immediately. Yeah, exactly. I was like, "Where did you get your waistcoat?" And he's like, "Oh, I got it at this store called Suit Supply." And I was like, "Really?" And we didn't have time to go there, but I'm going to go to their website because his fashion was just on spot on in my opinion.
Yeah, he was basically wearing what you were wearing, so yeah, I get it.
Yeah, pretty much. I do more or less dress like the Wizard of Oz. Minus the top hat, which I own, but I only wear about once a year.
Yeah, on occasion.
Yeah, and as I get older, I'm going to be wearing that more.
We know. Everybody knows.
Yeah, but he was really nice because he booked us a hot air balloon at his expense back, which was
Yes.
cool because we ruined the Dodge Caravan when we hit that witch, so we couldn't get back that way.
Well, I didn't know that she was going to get stuck up in. She was in the exhaust. It was really a mess.
It was
carburetor
horrible.
was gone. It was.
Yeah. I'm very glad that I used. Fortunately, my credit card company's actually going to handle that. Which it's apparently not.
Well,
I
told you, always get the insurance.
You next time, absolutely. Like I was lucky that the insurance company's going to handle it. But he was also really nice to everybody in our retinue.
I mean, he was very generous, I'd say.
Yeah, okay. So here's the scene. We've been traveling around Oz. We've been, trying not to hit these winged monkeys, which nobody talks about, but like monkeys fling poo, and also winged monkeys are terribly bad because they don't care where they're going to the bathroom. No one talks about that in terms of Oz.
Just reckless.
Yeah, very reckless. So we're dealing with a lot of those. But anyway, we've done our gigs in the Emerald City, and we're leaving, and the wizard comes out. My boy, you're a great man, and I like your sense of humor. And I was like, this guy talks fantastic.
Yeah.
And he was nice to us and everything. But then he gave all these merit badges or party favors or something to our Wookiees and to the other things. Like he walked up to AJ-19, your protocol droid, and he gave him this little felt heart that he'd cut out with scissors, and it really AJ, you could tell he just lit up. He felt so included.
He said something about it was in him the whole time.
Yeah,
it was really generous, and he said, here's the heart that you've always wanted, and AJ-19. I've never seen him that emotional.
Yeah,
for a protocol droid, but he really took that on.
Yeah, he was. No, it was touching. It was absolutely touching.
Genuine,
I was like, this is just what a generous host. Tarful, I don't remember what he gave. He gave him like a crescent moon shape or something, but it was supposed to be for courage.
Right.
Which was nice. And then Wolfwaro, he gave brains to. Which at first I kind of felt bad about because if
that felt rude almost.
It felt rude, didn't it? But then
a little.
But what I didn't know, and I feel kind of like a bad friend that I didn't know this, but Wolfwaro had actually very severely dyslexic, but didn't know it until he was an adult. He's older, and it just wasn't diagnosed on Kashyyyk at that time, and so everybody thought he was stupid, but he's not. He's very intelligent.
That makes sense why his recipes always turn out like shit.
Oh yeah,
he can't cook for hell.
Yeah, because he's confusing all the ingredients.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and Dr. Lungara, he gave him. Dr. Lungara Jr. He gave him contact lenses for foresight and hindsight, and he gave Chewbacca a spleen.
Yeah, it was a whole spleen. Yeah.
Yeah, a spleen for imposter.
It wasn't like a patch of a spleen. It was in a bucket, or in a
jar.
chest. Yeah, it was in a jar inside of like a cooler with ice around it.
Yep.
It
was very strange. It was very bizarre. I don't. But the weirdest part of that, I thought, Nick, was he handed her a jar with a spleen in it inside of an ice chest and goes, "And for you, Chewbacca, here's a spleen." And she started crying and went, "For imposter syndrome?" And he went, "Of course." And then they hugged. Like, apparently, spleens represent imposter syndrome. I had no idea, but that is a thing.
No, you and me both. I was very unaware. And also, the thing that surprised me the most about that is they let us take it back on the plane.
Yeah, agreed.
Because we had to take we took the hot air balloon, but then we eventually had to transfer to a plane. And I'm surprised they even let us take that back.
I am, too.
And also, what did Joe Blow...
Okay, well, the Joe Blow thing was weird. That was because he's, so far he's given a heart to AJ-19, and he's given all these body parts with various significances to the Wookiees, and then he just gives Joe Blow a handgun.
It was
just hands him a gun, and he doesn't even he just goes, "Here you go," and hands him a gun.
It was an old timey. It's not even like a modern day.
It's like, I think it's a flintlock pistol. I didn't get a good look at it.
Yeah. Well, no, but it was something along those lines. And he said, "Now, don't forget, you'll need gunpowder."
Yep. And I was waiting for the lesson of does this?
Nope.
What does this signify? Does this signify always calibrate what you're doing, or you've only got one shot? Maybe.
I couldn't
good. Pull the trigger. Don't.
You know what? you would be a good Wizard of Oz.
Thank you. That
You're
is
welcome.
pretty much straight up what I plan to end up doing.
Of all people I know, I think you would make the best Wizard of Oz.
Thank you. I agree. First of all, I'm a baritone, which if you've seen Wicked, the Wizard of Oz is a baritone in that, and I can actually sing that song. I can't hit the high notes in the other songs, but I can sing like Defying Gravity. Phenomenal song.
Yeah.
Very difficult for me to sing that. However,
I prefer Oklahoma.
Sentimental Man, Oklahoma is also great. Sentimental Man, which is the song the Wizard does, I can hit that, and I think
heard.
Given that my costuming and bizarre old-timey demeanor all intersect, yeah, I might well do that.
And you're also your ability to justify gifts.
That's true. You're right, because again, I could do that with a handgun. I think I would have been like, Joe Blow, you're very indecisive. Remember to pull the trigger. Here's a handgun. He didn't do that, though. It was
Are you sure it didn't feel like maybe he was just running out of stuff? Because we did have a lot of people with us. It was a lot. There's a lot of things he had to give away, and eventually it felt like...
Completely honest with you, I thought he kind of ran out of stuff after the spleen. Well, I liked Oz a lot. I'm going to give it an 8. How about you?
Oh, wow. You know what? I also genuinely enjoyed it, and I would say a 7.4.
Good. All right. Okay, man. Well, good trip. All right. I'll see you next week.
Talk to you soon.
I am a sentimental man who always longed to be a father. That's why I do the best I can to treat each citizen of Oz as son or daughter. So Elphaba, I'd like to raise you high, 'cause I think everyone deserves the chance to fly. And helping you with your ascent allows me to feel so parental. For I am a sentimental man.